You know, I say this by the grace and forbearance of God, but I have a track record of relationship with people, especially wives and friends, even enemies, where I've never deliberately hurt them or criticised them or harmed them. And on the contrary, I've done all that seemed reasonable in trying to help and be a blessing. I mean, obviously, I'm, as a human being, person, it was less so the further back I go. Times with my first wife were tempestuous. But I had a foundation by the grace of God and the love of Mum. That I was almost never reproachful of her. The earliest I can think of was something that she recounted to me, which was when she wouldn't buy me literally a toy lorry, truck. I walked behind her saying, "You don't care about me, you won't buy me a truck." And I was definitely under 5. In fact, I was under 4. I must have been 3.5. But apart from that, I don't think I ever said, I wouldn't have done an unkind word to Mum. And not to Dad either. The only time I ever had issue with him verbally. I mean, I had terrible thoughts, of course. I needed him dead from the point of view of Mum's protection and our well-being as I saw it from my childish view. But the only issue we ever had face to face was when he told me to park the car at the back of our property, which was quite difficult to, not very practical at all. And I said no. Within 3 days I did do it because I felt I should. But I said no and resisted on that point. And we were at the table eating, just him and me, because Mum didn't eat with us. And it was astonishing, he did nothing. And I didn't add anything to it, of course. I was a young man by now, of course. I don't know. Was I 18? I think so. I'm so grateful, Father, that this doesn't sound like humility, does it? But that I seem to have such a good track record. somehow you put the love of God in me. And harmlessness. It was not harmless as regards creatures, I know. I've told you before, haven't I, dear one? You know, I thought it was right to kill insects and wasps and mosquitoes and so on. And I had to get into probably just about into my teenage years to realise that was not the way I wished to go. But to care for creatures, increasingly as I understood it, all creatures. By the grace of God, where did this loveliness come into me? Love you, Heavenly One. Love you. Heavenly Dad, love you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. But hear me, dear Heavenly and dearest one. Doesn't matter what your track record has been. Still cares for you. Because he still loves you. You may feel burdened by bad track record, so to speak. Things you so feel you did wrong, and would to God it was otherwise. Well, he has it as otherwise. Because he loves you. You're his child. And that's the all of the matter. Thy loving kindness is sweeter than life, dear Heavenly Dad. Thy loving kindness is sweeter than life. My lips shall praise thee, thus will I bless thee. Thy loving kindness is sweeter than life. And he has allowed these difficulties in your past, which I hasten to say vanish into history, further and further away, smaller and smaller, that you cannot find them. He's allowed these things in your tiny life here, that you may come to love him forever and be rescued into life eternal. This is our God. By his grace and loving kindness. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.